It's so much fun, and it's the way of the future. One of my favorite chores is mowing the lawn. That's when I kind of do most of my thinking. Every once in a while, you get that epiphany. Bing! People ask me if I'm crazy. If you're not doing what you love, then I think you're crazy. It's like Disneyland here. You feel like you're in fairy tale land. Like there's princesses and magical things walking around here because it's just so beautiful. Speedriding is this whole new sport where you get your paraglider wing and you shrink it on down to a super small, high-performance wing. Take off from the ground, basically lay your wing out behind you on the ground. You start skiing, get your wing over your head, and when you have skis on, you're flying those high-performance gliders. You can put yourself into places that nobody can get to. It's so much fun, and it's the way of the future. All of these sports are really wind dependent, all the air sports are, and speed riding is no exception. You optimally want the wind to come up the face of the mountain so that you got a headwind and it helps get your wing over your head and keep in control of it. So I'm speed riding along, I'm speed flying because I'm not really touching the ground, and I'm trying to get down onto the ground, and as I come down to this one point, I misjudged it. It was full light. I don't understand why I misjudged it. One of those optical illusions. And I knew I shouldn't be on the ground right there. Just a nice little ski crash on this nice steep slope, and you just got to self-arrest real quickly and then gather your things together and pull it back together, lay your wing out behind you, and take off. Sure did. Okay, here we go. Ready, steady. Living the dream, man. I felt like the man, and I thought I had this. Next thing you know, I got spanked. Now my wing doesn't feel so good, but it's healing. Let's pack these things up and go to Switzerland now, huh? Italy was rad. Flying down these walls in Switzerland, right down into Steckelberg is just, it's a magical thing, 1,800 feet tall. There's this place where you take off, you go around the corner, and it just drops off like 80 feet to 100 feet. Drops off, you turn back against the wall, and you start making a whole bunch of turns. Then you come to another cliff that's too big to jump off of with skis and just fly off that. And you see people at the resort looking at these lines going, how do people put tracks up there? How do you do that? But you have to have a parachute to do it, and that's speed riding. The last thing I want to do is go fly off somewhere and end up in the white room, end up in a cloud where you can't see anything.
You made it through the white room!
Because the next thing you might see, besides all the white, is just a big flash of white light associated with a lot of pain. You might just fly yourself into the side of the hill and crash.
I was born and raised in Seattle. Started skiing at Crystal when I was probably about 2 years old. And then I've been speed riding here for about the last 10 years.
Yeah, everything we have going on is new. Andy, he took a skeleton speed riding harness and has attached it into these avalanche airbag backpacks in preparation for the big mountains in Alaska that we're gonna go try to slay. We're gonna be as safe as possible. If we need to cut away our wing, we got our cutaway handle here, which does not exist in speed riding really. They're usually fixed into your harness. But if we get into some crazy situation that we want to ditch our wing, now we can. Now we don't want to get tangled up in the line, so we jettison the canopy, hit the airbag, and swim like a fish. Try to stay on top.
This is a double black diamond at a ski resort, and I think it's a bunny hill compared to what Alaska's gonna be.
Yeah, we are stoked, that's for sure. Going into the unknown and hopefully do some jaw-dropping sessions out there. See you in AK. This adventure we're on is gonna largely change everyone's perspective on human flight.
Beautiful thing about Moab is the rocks just grow out of the ground straight up into the sky here.
Whoa, this place is gnarly. Yeah! It seemed a little bit unwelcoming.
Wow, damn, this is scary.
If you miss and you fall off, you're probably gonna die.